This week on the podcast, I have the pleasure of chatting with Friedemann Friese about 5 games that left a mark on him, both as a player and as a designer.
The beat of the drums echoes in the pulse beat of the young braves.
Salut les joueuses, salut les joueurs, je suis Paul Garin, on se retrouve pour une nouvelle interview à Essen et je suis en compagnie de Friedemann Friese. Salut Friedemann.
Salut.
How are you?
I'm fine.
We are on Freitag and I think it's the best day to meet you.
Yeah, it's a very good day. In German and English starts with
Yes.
math. Yeah, I know.
Unfortunately not in French.
Yeah.
So we are going to have an interview together and we are going to talk about games that were important for you as a player and then maybe inspire you for your game design.
Yeah.
First, we are going to talk about how you discover board games. Was it when you were a child with your family or later when you were a student or something?
No, it started very early with the family, of course, as a child. And we played some games in the family. And in German, there's a big tradition of trick-taking games. And we did not play so many of these roll and move games. So we even had a mahjong. And I played these Asian games like Gobang, which is the Gomoku, the 5 in a row on a Go board. But also had whatever Das Jagdspiel, which is just a game where you go hunting animals. But yeah, which is a roll and move. Ziemlich, and Deutschlandreise, which is the Ravensburger travel through Germany. It's also a roll and move, but it is two-dimensional, so I already see how interesting it can be to have a road to look. I have to go there and to find the best route, and I think this is something I learned early in my life. So yeah.
You also played role-playing games when you were young, or?
I'm not really much into it. I tried it once, the Midgard system from Germany. It's a German system, but I was not so convinced because I still like the idea of having a game night, having a game which starts and ends at a game night. And the thing with the campaigns, always the same people. It was always horrible to organize that all people are at the table and you cannot go on because this person is on holidays or this person ill. And it takes whatever 2 months to go back again, and then you have to remember where you were. So I really like better these closed things. Similar to today, as campaign games came up, I was totally hooked and in it. But by now I think, it's not really what I look for, because normally I want to have a game night and whoever's there, we play something and not to organize.
I read that legacy games were something that interested you in the idea, but you try to do things like that with your Fabula Fructus or even games with you can play and the rules are changing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, of course I tried it, and as you said, the Fabled Fruit thing is of course a game which has a campaign. And even the fast forward games, the small box games are kind of a campaign stuff. As I said, I was totally in that in the beginning. I was not much into these campaign stuff where you destroy the game by playing or, whatever, change the game that you cannot start over. So I'm much more in this Fable system where you can start it over as you like. But by now it's much better for me to to have a closed thing and to think, because whatever, if you look something like The Crew, where there's 60 missions in there, and I think I went to 25 or so, and whenever I started over, new people are there, and I have to start at 1 again, and it's kind of annoying that you're not really finishing it. Yeah.
I also understood that you worked in a board games shop.
Yeah.
And as a DJ.
Yes.
Yes,
I
it's
did.
true.
Yeah. Yeah. My works was DJing for parties and even in a club. I had some time working in a game store, which is kind of very good for me because I have seen why people grab what game from the shelf, or how to explain a game or to pitch a game, and which pitch works and what games are unsellable. You have a good game. You think, it's a great game, but I cannot sell it. It's impossible because the people do not get what I want to tell them. Of course, I worked as a coder, as a programmer for software as well. So
you start designing board games, I think, in the 90s with maybe experimental projects. And you started creating your own company very soon, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you think it was because you have this experience of feeling what can work with players?
Yeah, which is like, I'm not a very patient guy. So when I have something, I want to have it done. And when you work with a company, it takes 2 or 3 years until it's done. And this is sometimes very hard for me, working with other companies, to say, we have some changes. Can you go? Oh, yes, I work again. And so with this idea of DIY games, to make it by myself and make it the way to have one person for art and me doing the rest, and having a game in 92, the first games came out that way. And it took me 10 years to have the first games really from publishing manufacturers really produced. With the Fish and Flippen Frikadellen was the first one that really was available that way. But it's still the idea. It's still the idea to have the things done. Sometimes by now I have to think of 2026 right now. Yeah.
Okay.
And I cannot invent something in June for the fair anymore. It's just like impossible to get this done, because a lot of foreign partners are with me as now with Formidable Farm. So, yeah.
And from a creative point of view, maybe we feel like traditional publishers fear about doing things that are not very mainstream, or sometimes economic issues are more important than the creation, and you have more freedom.
I do have more freedom, and in the beginning it was just like, as you said, a lot of jobs beside it to make money, because the games did not make the money, because I can experiment. And after the 10 years, I decided to make a living off it, and was kind of curious if this freedom will vanish. But then early on started with Power Grid, and Power Grid was such a big success. So I had the money to live in work in freedom. So it was just like, okay, let's do it. And then I did Friday, and Friday did very well, because it was an experiment. If you can do a solo game, nobody expected that in that time. By now, everybody knows solo games are important, and so on. And the Fabled Fruit was an experiment that worked out, and and the small card games are very good for selling. So
And I read also an interview of you talking about that COVID was difficult. It was something to pass, in fact, but now you have a kind of stability, and we can say your board games are very players are really waiting for your board games.
There was. I started very early to build up a fan base, and this fan base is still very, very, very good for me. And these persons are very nice, and it's very good to meet them here in Essen.
And they support you.
They help me. It's just emotionally very, very important to see why I'm doing it, because I'm not doing it for numbers. Sales numbers. It's more important to see the people liking it.
Yes.
And COVID was kind of difficult, because I had with Power Grid a very strong US market.
Yeah.
And with COVID, a lot of foreign markets just shut down and said, no, we just be in our country right now with the pandemic. And so in this year, we had no real foreign licenses for the games we made. And therefore, it was hard, because we only had to rely on the German sales, and it was not part of the company, because the company grew in the world. So, and we only had the very more limited numbers to sell, and this was financially not that good. And by now it's getting better and better, and we are just, there are other business problems with other countries right now, but it is, Europe is stable and Asia is stable.
We are going to talk about the board games you mentioned for your list.
Yeah.
And the first of them, I hope that my pronunciation is correct, but it's Doppelkopf.
Yeah.
And it's a traditional card games, trick-taking games. Traditionally in Germany, different from Skat, I understand.
Yeah.
And I have never played it, I have to say. And I understand that you have temporary alliance.
Yeah, you do.
And it's not just a trick-taking games, but I understand that it's also a very strong social experience.
It is a very good trick taker, and it is, if you compare, because it's a 4-player trick taker partnership game, so if you compare it to Bridge or to Tichu, it is different because in Bridge you know the person you play together with, and Tichu the same.
Yeah.
So it is very rare in these partnership games that you do not know who is the person you're playing with, because there are these 2 queens of clubs. They play together.
Okay.
And there is also a possibility of a marriage because they both queens can marry. Very strange, but it's okay. It's in that game that you can play solo, or you can choose a partner by some rules. And the idea is that you have a trick-taking deduction part.
Yeah.
Because of playing cards and you do not know who plays with you. But if you play the Queen of Clubs, your partner knows you. Yeah? And then you can think of, oh, maybe this card is put in because it's very much points, because it's my partner, but you're not sure. And somebody can bluff and can put a very good card in your trick. Then you put a card in that trick, and they are happy because they are your enemies. And this is a part, I've not seen it again. It is a very interesting concept, but nobody really did it with different game. And this game has so many ideas in it, so it's so inspiring because it has this deduction of your partner. It is trick-taking. It is a trick-taking game with a lot of trump and not so many other colors. So it is not like in Skat, you have not so many trumps compared to the non-trump cards. In Doppelkopf, you have almost 50% is trump, so you play with these trump cards because of this partnership thing. But the big points are in the non-trump cards, so there are very interesting things happening. And it is a traditional game, so it is horrible to find if you want to play it. We did have to discuss a lot of rules first, and because there's so many variants.
Yes.
So many variants.
So that's that kind of games we transmit by just explaining, but the rules are not really written.
And there are regional differences. In south of Germany, there's Schafkopf, which is similar.
Yeah.
And they play Schafkopf, not Doppelkopf, but it is, and therefore I made a lot of trick takers.
Yes.
And I have a trick taker here right now, and with fishing last year was a very popular trick taker. So it was an inspiration for me, yes.
I was thinking about Fuji Flush, where you have this idea of some temporary alliance, because sometimes you say, okay, help me. We have to help each other, but next round we will be
it's just like, in Fuji Flush is strange because you have to help each other.
Yes.
But it's good for all. It is just like, it's like this temporary cooperation. And if all cooperate, nobody has anything of it. It's just like, okay, we played all the same card. Why not? Yeah. It's not bad. It's a small, short game, but it has these temporary. But in Doppelkopf, it's more deduction.
Yeah.
And I like deduction. I like trick taking. So maybe it comes from there.
I read that Fuji Flush, the first version, was released, but nobody knows the author, the game designer. After, I think it was in the next lesson that we.
Yeah, no, it was just like there was, I think, a print run of 200 copies.
Yes.
By myself from a digital printing company, and I just sent envelopes without anything to some people from the gaming scene. And they got an envelope with the game, and they don't know where it comes from, who it is. And I even sent the envelopes to a friend of mine in another city that the people cannot look for where it's come from.
Okay.
Yeah. And they said, Freiburg? Why Freiburg? Nobody's in Freiburg. I don't know where it comes from. Yeah. And I went to the Gathering of Friends, and put this on the tables. And people looked, oh, this game belongs to what? It's not my game, but it's my name on it. Why?
Right, okay.
So it was kind of, it was fun. It was kind of marketing, whatever.
Yes.
Guerrilla marketing.
It makes me think about a French author of books.
Ah, okay.
He won a big prize, and then he wrote another book with another name just to see.
Yeah.
Because nobody knows this, false name, and it was just to see the reaction of. This year you also released a new trick-taking game, Fearless. Yeah. And we just played it before coming. Yes.
Ah, okay.
Yes.
Yeah, fine.
And it was really funny.
Okay.
Also, I win, I have to say. Last year, also a trick-taking game. So it's something that you want to continue to explore, trick-taking games? Or you feel that there is a hype about trick-taking games?
There is a hype of trick-taking game, but for me it is sometimes I think there are too many. For me itself as a gamer, I think I already have 20 trick-taking games from this fair again. And sometimes at home I think, okay, I always have a new trick taker on my shelf. And sometimes I think, and what I by now think a lot of trick takers are too many rules. Yeah. Oh, now change this, and then you do not have to follow suit there. And if this happens and this happens, I think, yes. And therefore, Fearless is one of these games where there's only one idea, one new idea, and this is a new game. And this one I like if I find something like that, and these trick takers with too many new ideas, or if the trick taking is not good for me, not good anymore, because not following suit is normally not a good idea for trick taking. Changing trump in between a trick, I really hate it, because then everything is gone. Every idea of trick taking is vanished. So. But sometimes, like whatever, St. Patrick or so, a new idea came up, which is really interesting.
So we are going to talk about the next game, Ave Caesar. A game from Wolfgang Friedemann, 1989. Yeah. And it's a racing game.
Yeah, it's just a pure racing game. And it's just like, we had this, and it was not a big commercial success. So Ravensburger did very discounted sales of it, so everybody in our whatever got it, because it only cost whatever 8 marks, 10 marks. So before Euro time. So we had it, we were students, was cheap, and we really got hooked on it, because it is not good for the mass market, because the people do not really understand what's happening there.
Okay.
Because it's a race game. You get 3 cards and you play one of the cards, move forward. You can block each other with blocking spaces, and if you cannot play, you have to sit and pass, and the others can play the cards. This is, if you just play, always try to play the highest card you have and do it, and not thinking about the idea of the game, then this game really falls flat. This is really boring. Yeah. But if you think, okay, there's a good idea in that, nearly deck building, because everyone has a deck of cards for them own. There's only the random of shuffling. I have 4 1s, 4 2s, up to 4 6s. So I know the numbers I have in my deck, it's the same for everybody. Okay. So first of all, first idea. So if I play a 1, it's not bad, because I got rid of a card. If I cannot play a card, it's bad, because I cannot play a card. The others will be faster. But even with the 1, I'm faster than one who's not playing a card. If I play all my 6s, I'm really not very fast. And then there's one idea in it that the leader cannot play a 6, which is the highest, because of these die numbers. Yeah. So if all group, this corporation thing, agrees not to overtake the leader, then the leader cannot play 6s. And maybe in the end even ends up with a hand of all 6s and says, okay, I cannot move. And then we overtake him. Yeah, and then we block him. He has a lot of 6s, but then he can have to sit because he's blocked. Okay. This is a big fun of it. But for families, they do not see it. Yeah. Okay. But it was very influential to me, because to see, okay, there can be games with very, very simple rules, but if you have a real twist, yeah, then you get a new game. You get another game, and this, therefore, it is still an inspiration to me, because this because I am always doing kind of an independent game design.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm normally not in the mainstream market. I'm a bit off. Yeah. And this Ave Caesar was at Ravensburger, which is the biggest German publisher, but it was a bit off, and it was not a commercial success for them, but it was a very big success for our gaming group because we all had it. We tried to buy it, and everybody wants to have it. There was a hype in the gaming scene, and it went. After it was very cheap, it went to over 200 euros for collectors because a lot of people, and it got re-released and re-released because the people understood what it was, but it was clearly not a mass market game. You have to be involved in a bit more gaming to find out why this game is great.
So it's an inspiration for you in the sense that a board game can have a more subtle idea than we can see when we just read the rules for the first time, and we have to experiment the games to understand it. In fact,
It's just like maybe in Friday, which is my most successful solo game. You are there and you want to win every card and you want to win every fight. And if you play it a bit more, then you think, oh, I can succeed by losing fights. Yeah. I have to lose some fights. Yeah, because it's this deck building thing. If I lose a fight, I can shrink down my deck. And it's good. I go for this impossible fight to lose it, to get a benefit out of this losing, to have later on fight back if it comes back to beat it and get the good card. So this is something like that. You first hand you see, this is it, I do this, and then, no, maybe not what is intuitively the right thing. Maybe I have to think ahead and find something out. And
I also read, because I haven't played these board games, I also read that when you pass in front of Caesar, you have to say Ave Caesar.
Yeah, you have to do it.
There is something like humor, and you like to also include humor in your board games, and
there's some kind of role playing in that. In Ave Caesar, sometimes people really, in our group, we have to stand up even to say Ave Caesar.
There are lots of your games in which there are allusions, about other board games or other things you like, what we call Easter eggs.
Easter egg. Yes. I can. Sometimes I put some Easter eggs in there, and yes, of course, I'm very inspired by playing other players' games. Other authors do that as well. Some also say they don't do it. For me, it is, I come back with 100 games and I play every day in average one new game. So therefore I really know a lot of games, so then I can put these Easter eggs in there. And of course I like it.
You also designed Copycats, which was an homage to other board games and to mechanics, in fact.
Yeah, it was an homage to Mad Mechanics. It was interesting because it was I tried to make a mixture of Dominion, Through the Ages, and Agricola. And all of these games are about a lot of different cards. And some people were disappointed because I mixed them thematically together, or more mechanically, and not about all these big amounts of cards. There are not so many different cards in there. Some people were disappointed. They said, Through the Ages there's so many different. Agricola has so many different. In this game, they're not so many different. I said, yes, but it is about the mechanics I joined. And this is what I did there. And hopefully a lot of people see that this is still a good game.
Will you say that mechanics come first? Because I have the impression that if you start, sometimes you start with the thematics, and then you find the mechanics that relates really to the theme, or you have a mechanic idea, and then you find about a crazy theme to twist it. Sorry.
Yes, that's it. It's just, sometimes it happens in a sudden, like in Fresh Fish, there was the theme and the mechanic in the same time.
Yes.
And sometimes it is a bit more difficult to find a good theme for the mechanic I had, or sometimes I had the idea for themes and then take me some time to start with, because it would be nice to have a theme. No idea for mechanic right now. come back later. And
You like a non-conventional team in your board games.
Yes.
We also feel like sometimes there are political choice in the theme.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Yes. Is it important for you that board games as a media or as a cultural artifacts can be also politics, in fact?
I like it if some politics goes into games, because it's just like interesting, because a lot of gamers game because of escapism. A lot of games are played because it's relaxing from the real world. And this is okay. It is okay. You have these whatever Everdell-like games where there are tiny animals doing things and they are kind of political, but not really going for it. Or you have a lot of these whatever Ark Nova, Earth, Biome, whatever games that Cascadia that are about animals and nature, and all is good and no waste and no pollution. But on the other hand, we should not make all games as an escape from the real world. So sometimes it's kind of good to. It can be educational. It is sometimes good to think about politics. And I think people should find out that right now a lot of games are cooperatively. And it is fun and it's good. And it is good for us to show the people that cooperation can work in games so as well in real life. Or you find out whatever in Power Grid. You get... There are rules in that the rich people get more and more difficult way to succeed, and the poorer players get better things to keep up, and it makes the business in the game more interesting. So if there would be this absolutely snowballing whatever game where too big to fail, nobody wants to play that. Nobody wants to play whatever football, soccer game where whatever Bayern München is leading, or Paris Saint-Germain is leading, and nobody can beat them. It is a boring game. And the same to business. If we find out in Power Grid there, you get a base income. You get a base income of 10, whatever you do. And a lot of people say, "Oh, socialism." No, it's capitalism as well. It works very well. It's very competitive. You have fun, In Power Grid, the people have fun to make money. And there is a winner. And nobody is saying, I get my base income, I do nothing. No. The people are inspired, they are, And this can be political. So Power Grid is political as well, if you look at it as it is.
So next is Iron Dragon, a board game from Darwin Bromley and Tom Wham, 1994. I haven't played this board game, but I know that it takes the system of Empire Builder, and that was a big influence for you for Funkenschlag. Maybe I think Funkenschlag is maybe the most well-known board game from you, very emblematic from your work. Can you talk about Iron Dragon?
I took Iron Dragon because it was the first of the Empire Builder family I played.
Okay.
I went there in Hamburg to a game evening and they played it and I was just totally hooked. It was just like, what is happening here? And it is one of these games, and Empire Builder is very good at it. There are very, very, very few basic rules. And everything else comes from the board, from the cards, and you don't have to remember tiny little rules. It's just like you have some money, you build your rail track, and then you drive with your train and fulfill orders, get more money to build more track. So, kind of easy. So, in Iron Dragon, there is some Tom Wham wackiness in there. Tom Wham had made a lot of strange games. Therefore, I like Tom Wham in the history of my personal life a lot. Great Khan game and Search for the Emperor's Treasure, Kings and Things were games I really adored. So this combination from this business style Empire Builder with the Tom Wham wackiness was kind of, for me, kind of interesting to see, this is possible. And of course, I took, as I did the first Funkenschlag in 2001, which was not the well-known, there was crayoning on the board, and it was these. I played a lot of whatever games where you build rail tracks and via crayon, and I like the crayoning of Empire Builder and Dampfrost and others. But I was kind of inspired to say, oh, why not doing something else? What network could we build up instead of a train network? It was just like, oh, it's a power grid. Power grid would be nice as a network, a power network. Well, why not? And then it was there.
Okay.
Yeah, it was the idea of building up a power network because of being bored that all network building games are train games.
Funkenschlag was maybe your more official board games. Were you surprised because you design more experimental board games before? Were you surprised when with this success?
Yeah, it was, of course, it was a surprise as a success, and it was, as usual, I made it 2001 in a whatever print run of 2000 games around, with, do-it-yourself box and so on, and it was kind of a big success because the people really liked it, but it was 4 hours long, or 3.5 to 4 hours, and so I was done with it, but then other companies came and say, yeah, this was a good game, maybe you could redo it, and Alea asked for a version, and I made a version for Alea. Alea then did not make it, so I had this redone version, and I had Rio Grande Games that said we would do the American-US version. I said, okay, let's try it. 2004, 3 years later, I have made a new version, Creoning was kicked out, but people asking for that, and it is not a risk because half of the production is already paid by Rio Grande, so it was just like, let's do it, like an experiment. And me and Rio Grande, we both were surprised about the big success. Nobody ever had imagined beforehand that it could be that big success. And we are now at 500,000 copies sold, kind of. So. Wow.
Today, there are lots of release. Maybe board games are forgotten. Sometimes 2 years or maybe 2 months after the release. But some board games are very managed to stay in our mind, and they are still played. They are still played. I think about Agricola, for example. It's important for you to have the kind of games that's still played by players and discovered by new players.
Yeah, this is very amazing because this game is 20 years old and people still ask me for new maps, still say, this is my favorite game of the world ever, or whatever. Or it was by now it was my first game I played in my life from modern board games. Yeah, this is a modern classic, and this is very cool to have a modern classic.
Yeah.
It is not the only thing that is long in the market, but it's the most successful of them. Yeah, this is amazing. Yeah, impossible to. Yeah, and it's still something that gives me some money every year. So yeah.
You said that when you designed Funkenschlag, you had this idea of making a board game about connection network, building connections, but there are also auction aspect, and maybe I don't know if this auction aspect is inspired by the next game.
It is.
Yes,
for sure.
So the next board game is Outpost, a game from James Alavati and Timothy Moore, 1991. Sometimes it is more known by lots of players, like in the Das Zepter von Zavandor version. I don't know.
It could be.
Because I asked my friends, have you played Outpost? And they said, no, but I have the version of Das Zepter von Zavandor.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, Outpost is very interesting. It's a very, very inspiring game. And the author of Puerto Rico, Andreas Seifert, says Outpost inspired him for this. And I've seen other authors. Tom Lemon, he was responsible for Outpost as a developer in that times, made Phoenicia, yes, which is an Outpost-style game. And Zepter from Zavandor, these authors are inspired by Outpost to make Zepter of Zavandor. So it is very interesting. And why in the hell is this so inspiring, this game? But it is a snowballing game. Yeah. So you have a business game, you get some money, you put money in your company, you get more money out of it or some money out of it, put it again, then you raise your income. So this is just the snowballing thing. And Outpost has a bit problem of a runaway leader.
Okay.
Yeah, so if you are new to the game, you have no chance because I played it once and it was with newbies and I had played it a lot of times before. And in the middle of the game, I had more points, victory points than the others together.
Okay.
The others 4. It was just like, okay, this is done now. Just play it to the end. But yeah, but it is still. It has a lot of flaws, a lot of failures in there, but it has this strong engine in there. And if you play it, you feel this engine. And I think a lot of authors just saw it and say, this game could be, I have to do something with that, but without the runaway leader problem, without these, yeah? So it was a game which works on itself. It is okay, fun to play. And a lot of people still play it because you can only play it if all are on the same level. But then it's very tense because if you make a tiny little mistake, you fall behind because the others are snowballing away from you.
Okay.
So for me, it was just like this auctioning thing, which I did in Power Grid. I had this network building and I found it. And I did Friedemann Friese in 1999, which is very much inspired by Outpost. Also auctioning cards. And I found out that the problem with Outpost is that you get more money, and if you put the more money for more benefit in the game, then you will snowball. But if you put the money for victory points in the game and do not get a business benefit, then you fall behind. But you get ahead with victory points. You fall behind business-wise. So the others have the chance to snowball faster than you, but you already have some victory points. And Outpost has victory point cards, but they are together with better business cards. So this was, for me, a mistake to do so. They had split it. And I did it in Friedemann Friese. And in Power Grid, I found the solution to solve the problem with the turn order.
Okay.
So in turn order, the worst player, the falling behind player, has the most advantages in turn order, and therefore you catch up. And you also, this is an Outpost already in there. You have a limited space for your factories. In Power Grid, you only have 3. This is very, very good because if you buy a very good new one, you have to throw away the weaker old one.
Okay.
So you cannot grow, but you can. There's a limit of growth. Yeah, and then the income is also in the game. The first steps in income are higher than the later steps. So whenever I build better power plants later, I will not get much more money than the others, just a bit more. So, yeah.
I was wondering if this board games Iron Dragon or Outpost, you still play them today?
I try to play Outpost once a year just because of, the nostalgia. And I'm from the Empire Builder family, we play mostly Eurorails because it is Europe. It is more common to our geography than whatever North America rails, Nippon rails, Australian rails. Yeah. I do not have lunar and Martian rails anymore because I think now it's better to have a real existing map.
Yeah.
I still play this Empire Builder, the Eurorails, once a year to try to have it. Iron Dragon I have not played for a long time. With my son, because he was he looked at Eurorail and said, there are more. I said, yeah. And this Iron Dragon, I said, let's play Iron Dragon. Yeah.
So now we're going to talk about the last game in your list. Very, very well-known game. A game by Donald Vaccarino, Dominion, released in 2008. Wow. And we often say that it creates deck buildings. Yes. And you also make a deck building board games. And we were talking about Friday just before, which is a solo deck building.
Therefore therefore Dominion is there because Dominion, as I said, Outpost has its flaws and Dominion has its flaws for me as well, because I need games that are not perfect to me to be inspired to make it different. As I played Settlers the first time, Catan, it is perfect in the way it is. There's nothing to inspire me because I don't have to change anything. There's no idea. And I like what Dominion did, but I dislike the fact that it is best with 2 players, because if you add another player more than 2, you only have to wait longer. It's nothing, absolutely nothing to the game. Yeah, you just have to wait longer. There are a lot of modern Euro board games that did the same. There, if you look at Board Game Geek, a lot of if you look at Optimal Play Number 2. It's a Euro game. It's another soulless Euro. Somebody calls it, and so I like to play with 4 and 5 players. So I looked at the Dominion and I was just like, yes, just go ahead, play with 2. Yeah. And then I had the idea, it feels so much like a solo game to me. Yeah. So why not make what I feel with Dominion to make it a solo? Because Dominion, a lot of people say, it's good with 2 players. I said, no, I think it would be better with solo. Yeah. So I had the idea, deck building is a very good, vital mechanic, and it has these very interesting limited of snowballing as well. Because if you buy a lot of cards in a deck builder, you still only draw 5 cards on your turn.
Yes.
Yeah. So if you have a lot of good cards, you cannot use them all. So whoever gets a very big, high, good card will not have it every turn.
Yes.
So this is hindering snowballing. And you even put it on your discard and get it later. So this is a snowballing. It does stop snowballing. And Dominion did something which is theoretically for me very interesting. That you have this point of no return where you stop building your deck and start earning the victory points. And this is something I had in Antique and somewhere else, which I dislike, to destroy what I build up. Yeah, I dislike the destruction of what I build up. So I made Friday, and in Friday your deck is best in the end. There's no destruction of your deck. You have a good deck, you have the best cards, and you have to throw away the pirates, and there's no downgrading. So therefore, I really like the Dominion idea, and I talked to this Donald a lot as he went to Essen. We had a good talk and good chat with him. But for deck building, I like Heart of Crown better because it has not this destruction of your deck thing. I think, and I like the Harry Potter Hogwarts Battle deck builder a lot, but there's no deck shrinking, which is a bit, sometimes it's not. Yeah, it's family style. It's okay. You can play it. And I still like cooperative games. And this deck builder is cooperative. Because for me, this deck building is because you do something with this deck building. And Altai is a new deck builder where you really do a lot, but you really have to wait for the others. Because on your turn, you have a lot of things to do. It's like whatever, I played Terraforming Mars and played it solo and was totally hooked. And then it was set there with 5 players. And it was horrible to wait the complete time. Yeah, Terraforming Mars is not a good 5 players game in the base game. I don't know what's expensive it. I don't know. But in the game structure, it is 2 or 3 players. But done. Yeah, with 4 players, it's even too many players. And it's a shame because I like to play. Like Ave Caesar is a very hilarious 6 players game. Empire Builder Iron Dragon, I would only play it with 2 or 3 players as well. Okay, yeah, but Power Grid it shines with 5 players. It's great. It's very interactive. The turns are short, and therefore I'm looking for. Yeah, and therefore Dominion gave me something to work on because it's not perfect for me. Yes. Only for my taste. Yeah, it's a big success, and every Dominion player should play its Dominion. They like it. Do it. I don't want to stop you doing that. Yeah, but I don't want to tell you idiots or something like that. No, it's your game, the game you like. But for me, it is not that what you think it is.
I agree because, in fact, I only play Dominion at 2 players.
Yeah.
And sometimes I wonder if with Dominion there is this idea that it's like a kind of engine building board games, but in fact it's a race.
Yes.
It's more a race if you... At the end, it's more a race than something that you have to build already.
Yeah, I know.
You have to be just efficient.
Yeah, but on the other hand, I talked a lot with William Mattia, the author of Caelus. Caelus. And he dislikes Power Grid because it is a race.
Yes.
And I dislike Caelus because it's not a race.
Oh, yes.
And we both dislike our best games. It's very interesting. We laugh every time we meet. We laugh about it. It's fine. It's good. We did not really hate it, but it's not a strong dislike. It's just like it's not my game. It's not a game I really want to play. It's just like okay. So, yes, I like race games.
Yes, and
The Formidable Farm is a race game right now.
I read that you prefer board games with not with a specific number of turns, but when there is a race and someone can end the game, in fact.
Yeah, if there is an end built in the game that you can trigger. Because then you have the option to trigger the game end earlier or not.
Yes.
And this is what I really find interesting. And Dominion has this interesting part of, if this deck is empty, the game is over and something like that. This is very interesting. But the destruction of my own structure is something like mathematically, intellectual, fine. But emotional is not for me.
Okay. We are at the end of the interview. I don't know if there is something else you want to say about maybe your new board games, your new release.
Yeah, the new releases are right now, because we in Essen is the Fearless, which is it is the same. There's a trick taker. There's only one new idea to it, and that's it. Yeah. Yes. Go for it. There's no if you want to have more different rules there are more other trick takers here at the fair. Take them. But if you want to have one new idea, and Formidable Farm is kind of I'm really looking forward what the people will say to it, because a lot of people are really excited about it, and it is very rare to me. It is a very good 2-player.
Okay.
It will have the board game geek rating best with 2.
Thank you so much for your time and availability. It was so cool to have this discussion. On remercie tous les auditeurs et auditrices qui ont écouté. À bientôt pour une nouvelle interview. Bye bye.
Bye.
This interview was recorded at the Essenspiel on October 24, 2025, and this episode is produced by Polgara and Hammer. Our show is completely independent. Its contents are free, as in free speech, and we are not sponsored. Follow Polgara's account on Facebook, X, Blue Sky, and Instagram. Thank you for listening to Le Point de Polgara, and until next time for a new episode.